Welcome. Thank you for joining today. If you would like to gather any kind of props, like a block, I do recommend having a chair or a stool handy. I'll tell you when to move it next to your mat, when you'll need that. We'll practice on some balance tonight, balancing the left and the right side, focusing on core stability, and doing a short balance series. So gather whatever props you need, and we'll meet on our mat seated in Sukhasana, or easy seated pose. I'll invite you, if it's comfortable for you, to close your eyes, placing your hands on your knees or your thighs, palms facing up. Tapping into your breath here, just the natural pattern of your inhale and exhale. Not changing it, just acknowledging what feels natural. Allowing any thoughts that may cross your mind to gently pass, not holding on to them. Simply watching them like a movie as they slide across the mind. Cultivating inner stillness and silence. If you'd like to set an intention or a mantra for this practice, I invite you to do so now. Repeating your intention 3 times to yourself. Reminding yourself of why you showed up on your mat today. For our opening pranayama or breathing exercise, we'll practice Brahmari breath or honeybee breath. So we'll inhale deeply through our nose, and on the exhale, keeping our lips sealed shut, we'll exhale, allowing our vocal cords to vibrate, making a humming sound, like the wings of a honeybee. So go ahead and inhale deeply through your nose. Inhaling again. Exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. This Brahmari breath is meant to help alleviate anxiety and reduce stress. So focus on feeling that vibration of your life force, the prana, moving through your body as you're exhaling. Breathing 2 more times. Inhale. And 1 more breath cycle. Inhaling through the nose. Bringing our hands to heart center, palms together. We'll begin practice with an Om, remembering that Om is the sound of the vibration of the universe. So exhale deeply through the nose and mouth, exhaling all the stale air from your lungs and your belly, and inhaling deeply for Om. You'd like to open your eyes at this time. We'll move into our gentle warm-up. So staying in our easy seated position, go ahead and inhale our arms overhead, straight up to the ceiling. Our gaze up. And on our exhale, we'll lower our right hand to the mat beside us, stretching over with our left arm, reaching to the right, feeling a stretch in our left side body, focusing here on making sure our shoulders are away from our ears, and our chest is turned to the side, not hunching over. All right. Breathing here, feeling the stretch. Inhaling our arms back overhead to center. On our next exhale, we'll lower our left hand to the mat, reaching over with our right, stretching our right side body. Again, making sure our chest is open to the side. Breathing here for a few moments. Inhaling back to center. On the next exhale, we'll take our left hand to our right knee and place our right hand on the mat behind us in a gentle twist. Here, focusing on inhaling, straightening the spine, growing tall through the crown of our head. And on the exhale, twisting a little bit deeper. Inhaling to lengthen, growing tall. Exhaling to deepen. Not forcing anything. Inhaling to lengthen. Following our body, our natural breath. Practicing ahimsa, or non-violence. Inhaling our arms back overhead. Exhaling our right hand to our left knee and our left hand behind us on the mat. Again, inhaling to lengthen, growing tall, and exhaling to twist a little deeper. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. One more breath cycle. Inhaling back, arms overhead. And exhaling, hands back to heart center. From here, we'll make our way to a hands and knees position. So shifting, placing our hands flat on the mat, directly below our shoulders, and our knees directly below our hips. Our back should be flat, spine elongated, top of the head reaching towards the front of the mat. Tabletop position. From here, we're going to practice some cat and cow. So on the inhale, we'll drop our navel, our belly button to the ground, lifting our gaze towards the ceiling in cow pose. And on the exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the chin to the chest. Marjaryasana. or cat pose. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze to cow, and exhaling, rounding the spine, back into cat. Following our natural breath as we inhale to cow, exhale to cat. 2 more breath cycles at your own pace. Really feeling your spine lumbering up. Meeting back in tabletop or neutral position. From here, we'll practice some spinal balance. So I'll invite you to first raise your right arm off the mat, keeping it parallel with your body, parallel to the mat below, and extending your left leg. You can either place your toes on the ground, or if you'd like, lift it up, try to keep it parallel with your body and all in line here. And on our exhale, we'll lower knee and hand back to the mat and switch sides. So raising your left hand and your right leg. Maybe keeping your toes on the ground, maybe lifting, creating a straight line on one plane. Exhaling back to neutral. Do a few more of these, raising your right arm and left leg. Exhaling back to the mat. Inhaling left arm and right leg. Exhaling back. Moving at your own breathing pace. Focusing on drawing that navel back to your spine, engaging your core. Just a little. And focusing on balance. One more. On each side. Coming back to tabletop. Let's sit back on our heels. And actually just come to standing at the top of your mat. So making your way up to the top of the mat. This is the time where if you have your chair or stool or whatever you like to use for the balancing series, go ahead and take it and place it to the side of your mat on the left side first. Somewhere where it's not in your way, but it's there and ready for you when we move into that balancing series. All right. So making sure you're standing at the top of your mat, your feet hip distance apart. Let's lift all 10 toes off the ground and wiggle them, happy toes. And then placing them gently back on the mat, making sure we're rooted to the ground through all 4 corners of our feet. Opening our palms alongside us, facing forward to the front of our mat. Rolling our shoulders down and away from the ears. Engaging our core. Tadasana, or mountain pose. From here, we'll move into a sun salutation variation. So I'll go ahead and guide us through with movement and breath cues to begin. We'll do the salutation 3 to 5 times. Once you feel comfortable with the movements and the breath pattern, feel free to move at your own pace, following your own breath. So to begin, we'll inhale our arms overhead, gaze towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, we'll bring our arms 90 degrees into cactus. Maybe practicing a slight back bend here. And then from the waist, inhaling our arms back overhead. And exhaling, folding forward at the waist into Uttasana, or forward fold. Bending your knees here as much as you need. Maybe your hands come to your shins, the tops of your feet, or they reach the mat. Stretching here, feeling the stretch in your back, thighs. Inhaling, placing your hands on your shins and straightening your back, halfway lift. Exhaling back into Uttasana. Forward fold. Inhaling, arms overhead, rising up, hands to the ceiling. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Repeating this, inhaling, arms overhead. A few more times, following your breath. Exhaling, cactus arms, maybe a slight back bend. Inhaling, arms overhead. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhaling. Inhaling, rising up. Strong, engaging the core. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, forward. Halfway lift. And forward. Inhaling, rising up, strong. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Rising strong. And exhaling back. Hands to heart center. From here, we'll move into our first balance series. So taking that chair, making sure it's on your left side. We'll start by balancing on the left leg and lifting the right foot. So from your mountain, we'll go ahead and come into Vriksasana or tree pose. So placing your hand on the back of the chair or stool, we'll lift our right foot off the mat and place the inner part of our foot on, or the bottom of our foot on the inner part of our ankle, calf, or if you'd like to place it on your inner thigh, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Making sure here that your hips are square to the front of the room, front of your mat, and your knee is open, perpendicular to your toes on the ground. So hands here can be at heart center, in cactus, up above, whatever feels right for you in your practice today. Maybe just out. Focusing here, picking a drishti or focal point on the floor or the wall in front of you, helping you focus. Keeping your balance. Breathing. Rooted through the bottom of your left foot. If you'd like to challenge yourself by closing your eyes, challenge your balance some more, feel free. Otherwise, just keep your gaze on your drishti. Bringing that knee back forward, we'll go ahead and step back with that raised right foot into Warrior Two or Mahavirabhadrasana. So your left foot should be pointed towards the short end of your mat. Knee should be stacked directly above your ankle. Your back foot should be parallel with the back of your mat, and your heels should be aligned. All right, so find a stance here. Maybe you come closer together. Maybe you step a little farther away. Just making sure that knee is not going beyond your ankle. All right. Hips turned open to the side of your mat. Arms raised to shoulder height. Shoulders dropped away from the ears. Turning your gaze to look forward beyond the fingers of your left hand. Engaging your core. Feeling the strength in your feet, your thighs, your glutes, and your arms. Feeling the strength in your stillness. If you'd like to engage your leg muscles anymore, without moving, go ahead and try and bring your feet towards each other on the mat, isometrically. Engaging those muscles. Flipping the front palm up to the sky. Let's go ahead and drop our back arm onto our back leg, raising our left arm up and over into reverse warrior or exalted warrior. Breathing here a moment. Coming back to warrior two. If you have a block nearby, grabbing that and placing it, you can place it on its short edge, long edge, or flat on the ground, whatever feels right for you, on the inside of your front foot. Coming from warrior two, shifting and straightening that front leg, shifting from the hips, the torso forward, and then hinging at the waist, dropping your left hand to the block or your mat, raising that right arm straight, turning and gazing up at the sky. Still engaging your core, feeling the stretch in your left leg and hip flexor, inner thigh. And when you're ready, placing the right hand down on the mat and stepping forward, feet together. Actually staying here in ragdoll, so if you'd like, forward fold to grab opposite elbows. And just allowing gravity to work. Maybe nodding your head yes. No. Shaking the tension from your neck, your shoulders. And on the next inhale, we'll raise our arms overhead once more. Exhaling, our hands to heart center. We'll move into repeating our sun salutation variation. A few more times here. Same flow as before. So again, I'll guide with movement and breath cues, and then as you feel comfortable, move at your own pace with your own breath leading you. So from mountain, inhaling, arms overhead, gaze to the ceiling. Exhaling, arms to cactus, maybe a slight back bend. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, rising up, tall. Exhaling, hands back to heart center. Once more, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rising strong on the inhale. Exhaling, heart center. Flowing 2 more times, following your breath. Perhaps closing your eyes gently. That feels comfortable for you. Simply focusing on the breath as it moves through your body, as you move with the breath. At your own pace. Feeling the strength. Leading back. In mountain, hands at heart center. Taking a chair, this time to your right side of the mat. This time balancing on the right leg, lifting the left. So taking the sole of your left foot to your inner ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Never across your knee. Hips squared forward, knee open to the side. Balancing here. Whatever arm position suits you in your practice. Focusing on your drishti, the focal point. Perhaps challenging your balance by allowing your eyelids to drift shut. Rooted through the bottom of your right foot. and breathing. Bringing our knee forward. And stepping back with our left foot into Mahavirabhadrasana or Warrior Two. So again, your front feet, toes will be pointed toward the short end of your mat. Your back foot, the toes will be pointed towards the long end of your mat. Heels should be aligned on the mat. Front knee should be bent, stacked directly over your ankle. Hips turned open to the side, arms shoulder height, dropped away from your ears, turning your gaze to look out over your right fingertips. Engaging your core, feeling all four corners of the soles of your feet, pressing into the earth. Breathing. Feeling the strength in your stillness. Flipping the palm of your front hand up to the sky, and dropping the back hand along the back leg, looking up and over as you bring your right hand up and back, an exalted warrior. Still engaging your core and your leg muscles. Coming back up into Warrior Two. Taking the block, placing it on the inner arch of your front foot, straightening your front leg, shifting from the waist, your torso forward, and hinging at the waist. Placing your hand on your block, perhaps on your mat, chest open to the side, left hand reaching for the ceiling. Engaging your core, feeling as thin, like a sheet of paper, and a file, a piece of toast in the toaster. When you're ready, dropping both hands to the front of the mat and stepping forward. Holding, grabbing opposite elbows. Allowing yourself to ragdoll once more. Gravity working. Nodding your head. Bending your knees. Allowing gravity to do this work here. From here, we want to make our way back to our mats and onto our back. So coming to a seated position, maybe grabbing the back of your thighs and rolling down on the mat. Let's go ahead and bring our knees into our chest, wrapping our forearms around our shins. And if you'd like, bringing your forehead up to your knees, just giving yourself a tight squeeze here. Releasing, Keeping your right knee pulled into your chest and extending your left leg long on the mat, placing the heel on the mat, or if you'd like, hovering the leg just above the mat. On your inhale, let's bring the left knee in and extend the right leg out. Either heel gently placed on the mat or hovering just above the ground. Inhaling our right knee in, exhaling our left leg out. Engaging our abs. Inhaling left knee in, exhale, right leg out. 2 more times on each side, following your breath. One more on each side. Placing the soles of our feet back on the mat, knees pointed to the ceiling. Let's take our right ankle across our left knee, lifting our left foot off the ground, wrapping our hands behind our left thigh, and reclining pigeon. Feeling the stretch in your right glute and hip flexor. Perhaps you'd like to go a little deeper, pulling that left knee in towards the chest and pushing that right knee out to the side. Breathing, deepening the stretch on each exhale. Bringing our left foot back to the mat, uncrossing our ankle, and switching sides. So left ankle across the right knee, lifting the right foot, wrapping our hands behind the right thigh, and pulling that right knee towards the chest. Continuing to breathe. Deepening on the exhale. Placing our feet back on the mat. Let's use our index fingers to hook either our big toes of each foot or just grabbing the sides, the outsides of our feet. Coming into Happy Baby, Ananda Balasana. Maybe rocking gently side to side, massaging your lumbar spine, releasing any tension you may be holding in your lower back. Placing our feet back on the mat once more. We'll move into a reclining spinal twist. So let's extend our left leg long on the mat, bringing our right knee towards the chest once more. And then taking that right knee, we'll guide it gently over our left side body. Ensuring here that both shoulder blades, especially your right, continue to stay flat on the mat. So if you need to raise your knee up a little bit more to stay flat on the mat, that's perfectly okay. Extending that right arm perpendicular to the mat and turning our gaze to look over the right hand. If you have room or feel comfortable doing so, extending, straightening this right leg, or keeping it bent at the knee. Whatever feels most comfortable and allows you to relax into the pose. Feeling tension release on our lower and mid spine. Inhaling back to center, knees to the chest. And exhaling our right leg onto the mat, our left knee into the chest. And gently guiding that left knee over our right side body. Extending our left arm out straight perpendicular to our mat. Gazing over our left hand. Perhaps leaving your left leg bent, or maybe extending and straightening that leg. Whatever feels right for you. Inhaling both knees back to center. Once more, wrapping your arms around your shins. Maybe bringing your forehead to your knees. Giving yourself one more tight squeeze. Before relaxing. Extending your arms and legs. Straight, stretching from your fingertips to your toes. One big stretch. And relaxing. Bringing your arms alongside your body, palms facing up. Preparing for Shavasana. Final relaxation. Perhaps dimming the lights. Lighting a candle or some incense. If your eyes are not already closed, I invite you to allow them to close, or at least soften your gaze. Tapping in again to your natural breath. Not changing it, just acknowledging, recognizing how it may feel different from the beginning of your practice. Or maybe it doesn't. Feeling your belly move. Up and down with your breath. Mentally scanning your body. Checking for any new sensations. I'll invite you to join me in a full body relaxation. Starting with our toes. Let's curl our toes tight. Curl them as tight as you can. Just your toes. And releasing them, relaxing the toes. Let's tighten our calf muscles as tight as we can, just the calves, and relax them. Moving to our thighs and our kneecaps, squeezing the muscles as tight as you can, and relaxing. Engaging the glutes, squeezing as tight as you can, and relaxing. Into our abdominals, tightening the abdominal muscles as tight as you can, and relax. Clenching our fingers into a fist, the forearms and the fingers, tight as you can, and relax. The bicep muscles, flexing, and release. Shrugging the shoulders up to the ears, engaging the upper back and shoulder muscles, and releasing. Clenching the jaw, tightening the jaw and neck muscles, and relaxing. Scrunching the nose and the eyes as tight as you can, and releasing. Feeling your body light. Releasing the tongue from the top of your mouth, roof of the mouth. Smoothing your forehead, relaxing your eyebrows. Breathing. Beginning to move the fingers of your toes, wiggling them, inviting movement back into your body, gently. Maybe rolling your wrists and your ankles. Making your way, rolling onto one side, knees drawn up towards the belly, head resting, pillowed by the upper arm. Taking a few more moments of stillness here. When you're ready, pushing yourself up and back into Sukhasana or easy seated pose at the top of your mat. I invite you, if your eyes are not already closed, to allow your eyelids to drift shut once more or soften your gaze. Let's recall our intention or personal mantra you may have said at the beginning of your practice. Again, repeating that intention 3 times to yourself in your mind. Remembering why you showed up on your mat today. And expressing gratitude for this practice. Bringing our hands, our palms, placing them on our belly. That's comfortable. Practicing our closing pranayama, belly breath. So we'll simply inhale deeply through the nose, feeling the oxygen expanding our bellies like a balloon, and exhaling deeply through the nose or the mouth. Feeling as the prana, our life force, leaves our body and our belly contracts. Once more, inhaling deeply through the nose, filling up our bellies like a balloon, and exhaling, feeling the contraction. Inhale, exhale. Two more times. At your own pace. I'll invite you to bring your right hand to your heart, leaving your left on your belly, if that's comfortable. I'd like to share a mantra called the Akhanda mantra. The English version of the Sanskrit mantra is as follows. I bow to the divine Guru who reveals to me that the pure consciousness is an indivisible entity that permeates the moving and non-moving. So if you'd like to join in with me on this mantra, feel free to, or simply sit in silence, feeling the vibration of the mantra. Akanda Mandalakaram Yaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Akanda Mandalakaram Yaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Akanda Mandalakaram Yaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Bringing your hands to heart center, palms together. Closing our practice with an Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, the sound of the vibration of the universe. And Shanti, which simply means peace. Exhaling all the stale air from your lungs. Inhaling for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The light and the love in me honors and respects the light and the love in you. Namaste.
Namaste.